Ever since I can remember, me and my twin sister Beryl have been best friends. All of our childhood, we were joined at the hip. Always Beryl and Sam, or Sam and Beryl. And every year, this friendship and this closeness manifested itself in a yearly ritual of getting on the bus together. For my entire childhood, from kindergarten until 12th grade, I remember climbing up the steps of the bus with Beryl on the first day of school. My mother videotaped it every year, which is why you can see this footage. And every year, nervous but excited for the first day of school, I had somebody to support me through it because I had Beryl, who would always scamper up the steps with me and tell me that everything was going to be okay. But sometimes it's difficult to have a best friend who's also a sister, not necessarily because of difficulties in the way that you interact, or in difficulties even in your lives, but just because you're with that person 24/7. And that was the case with Beryl. We were completely attached to one another throughout our childhoods, and when it came time to apply for colleges, to go off to university, we decided that we wanted different lives, that we wanted to go to different schools. So we applied to different places, ended up getting into different places, and decided to attend different universities as a result. I remember the day in which Beryl and I separated ways to go off to our different colleges. I was paralyzed with grief and honestly didn't think I could make it through. For the first time in my life, I was forced to climb up the metaphorical steps of the bus without Beryl, and I didn't think it was possible. Didn't think it was possible to make new friends without her. Didn't think it was possible to start a new life without her. Didn't think it was possible to even go to parties or to socialize without her. And I cried and cried and cried because we separated ways and had our first days at universities separately for the first time in my memory. But eventually I did make new friends at college, and eventually I studied abroad in Barcelona without her. And eventually we made different lives for ourselves, and for the first time, I was Sam, a separate person, and she was Beryl, another separate one. We were thankful that we made the decision to separate in our lives. But that doesn't mean that every time I go off to school, I don't miss her the most. And that doesn't mean that we're not close as we always were. Because in my heart, I will always have only one true best friend, Beryl.